Let's go treasure hunting! Oh man, team mapping. It's literally the most broken thing in the game in terms of experience and loot. It's actually very simple and obviously very rewarding. Now, sure, you might get PK'd here and there and lose a map, but who cares if you're raking in hand over fist in terms of gold? Whether you do them for fun as you get them, or you're actively buying them and doing them and then selling the goods that you get, the experience and the loot is top notch. So today, let's talk about the Trapper T-Mapper and how you can go from 0 to hero with 30 links and a crap ton of gold. So sit back, grab yourself a beer, and let's talk about it. All right, guys, I know it's been a while since we've done a template video, but let's go ahead and knock the rust off. And as you know, we start straight into the template. Detect hidden at 120. This does multiple things. It's going to boost the damage of our traps, most importantly. And it also allows us to reveal on the treasure chest location for a thief waiting to snipe our well-deserved booty. Also, if you kill a Paragon, it will allow you to remove the trap from the Paragon chest, which is a nice bonus. The main thing though, boom! Next up is Tinkering at 120. This allows us to craft anything from the Tinkering menu, including lockpicks, shovels, traps, and a detonator, which we will actually need all those to trap. It allows us to craft and use the trap kit. It also is a big factor of our trap damage. At minimum, 80 detect and 80 tinkering are required for the trap kit. Next up, we're going to talk about lockpicking. Let's do this at 100. We will need this to pick the treasure map chest. More on lockpicking shortly. Magery at 100. Obviously, we need this to summon elementals and use our Wizard Grimoire and Summoner's Totem. Tracking at 100. This increases the damage our spells do, but more importantly, it gives us radar in case reds are in the vicinity. It's a good practice if you recall in and see a red on tracking to move on to the next map or just come back later. Let's do Spirit Speak at 80. We need a minimum of 80 for the Summoner's Tome. This will substantially beef up our summons, which is a huge shield between us and the monsters. Meditation at 80. Being out of mana sucks, and being out of mana with no regain is worse. We also need 80 med or 80 eval in order to use the Wizard Grimoire. I think I would later, in Aspect and Links, we could possibly drop this or tracking, as well as camping in exchange for Forensic Eval, just to skin and get rare leathers. But as of now, I'm enjoying the use of the Wizard Grimoire, and if monsters take a little bit longer to kill, I've still got mana to resummon another elemental or do damage to the monsters. Camping at 20. If you get a very, very good and dangerous roll on monsters spawned, as well as a harvest proc, the gold could potentially weigh you down too much. This alleviates that, but so would a strength potion. Some may argue to put this in tracking for a beefed up radar or even lockpicking to progress the chest more. Alright, I know everybody's gonna ask about it, so as far as tools go, for this, I'll guide you over to the Witcher's T-Mapping Guide. About halfway through is a spreadsheet, which is shown here, that shows what's required to pick what level chest. Keep in mind, the higher your effective lockpicking, the more progress you will make on the chest. You will also need a shovel to dig up the chest, your traps, and a detonator. I take 30 of each reagent and a small assortment of potions. As far as aspect goes, here's a very debatable topic. Put in the comments your suggestion, and I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been doing Gadget Armor. Gadget Armor increases my trap damage by 10% and then another 3% per level. It reduces the cooldown of my traps by 1.2 seconds and then another 0.4 per level. And furthermore, it gives me a nice damage resistance of 5% and another 1.5% per level for 10 seconds after trap detonation. The damage resistance really comes in clutch with those AoE heavy monsters. I started T-mapping at level 0 with this, so it's very doable even at 0. Now here's the catch. Once the monsters are dead, I pop on over to harvest for the armor. Even at tier 0, it gives a 6% chance to double the stackable loot inside the treasure chest. The +3 effective lockpicking isn't bad either. At the time of me writing this, I'm tier 1 and in need of more harvest cores. I probably won't buy any, but I'll use what I get to level it and probably stop around 7. For the book, Gadget Book. The proc innovation increases the damage of the next trap placed. It only procs on spell or melee hit as of now, but in Wildlands testing as of recording this video, it is said to proc on traps as well. And I like to gather the gadget experience when we open the chest. Alright, let's talk about the Codexes, the Wizard Grimoire. Since we have 80 meditation, we get to use the Wizard Grimoire. This will come in handy helping your pets finish off the monsters between traps. Let's do 6 points in create food. This will give us our magic mushroom that acts as a mana potion every 60 seconds and gives us 25 mana. 6 points in magic arrow. This is going to increase the damage of magic arrow by 300% every 20 seconds. 6 points in harm will increase damage by 200% every 20 seconds. 9 points in fireball, which gives fireball a 300% of the damage done damage over time for 15 seconds. 9 points in lightning. Every 20 seconds you can cast lightning for an increased damage of 200% as well as a 3-second hinder. We're only going to do 2 points in greater healing. This will just give our heals an additional 15% heal over time that's spread over 15 seconds. And then this part's a little debatable. I went ahead and put 12 points in Mind Blast. This gives Mind Blast a 60% chance to do a charged proc, which is a fancy word for critical hit. But I will say some may argue to do the AoE spells like Meteor Swarm, Chain Lightning, or Earthquake, or maybe do them all. I don't think those are wrong at all, really. I'm just really leery of going low on mana. It's definitely a great idea, though. I mean, it's an increased amount of damage on those area effect spells. You're already doing area effect, and it also, you just rotate it onto the next one. So it won't hit your pets either. It's not a bad idea. It's just like I said, I personally am afraid of going out of mana and not being able to resummon an Earth Elemental if I need to. All right, let's talk about the Trapper's Kit. For me, I went with as much damage as possible, even if it meant sacrificing some time to place a trap. I'd be curious what some of you veteran trappers did for your trappers in the T-mapping world. I put 6 points in Blasting Powder. This is going to reduce the penalty of hitting multiple targets down to 0%. I figure we're always hitting multiple targets, so this is a priority. I also put 1 point in Breaching Charge. This increases the damage by 5%, and each creature hit will take an additional 5% damage from future traps within the next 45 seconds. I'm going to do 1 point in Flash Dust. This will increase the damage by 6% as well as hinders to the target for 1 second. 6 points in Groundwork. This increases damage by 24%. Now that is quite a bit, so it actually does increase the time to place the trap by 1.5 seconds. I also put 6 points in Razor Glass. This increases damage by 24%, which is going to be resolved over the next 3 seconds. Let's move on to the Summoner's Tome. I find myself faring better in these low aspects with 2 Earth Elementals and a summoned creature due to the survivability. You may actually enjoy using a Fire Elemental in place of one of the Earth Elementals. Feel free to pause and copy my Summoner's Tome loadouts, and definitely provide feedback with what yours is. I find the Earth Elemental to be very situational, and with T-maps, it's impossible to pick the perfect loadout due to the nature of random monsters spawning at T-maps. Some can be poison, some couldn't be, you never know. Nonetheless, the differences aren't too drastic that will make or break you. For the Mastery Chain, definitely go with trap damage. Trap damage is gonna increase your traps, obviously, right? Then, of course, special and rare loot chance. This is going to help a ton considering you're going to be fighting lots of monsters and you want those monsters to drop more cores and scrolls and all that wonderful stuff. So why not grab some more extra special rare loot chance things? Another one that would be good is chest success chance / progress. The name of T-mapping is get in quick and get out quick. So if you're picking a chest fast, well, that's going to be very helpful as well. Now let's talk about how. Again, I will defer you to Witcher's Guide, but the premise is simple. Decode the map with cartography on a mule character. No need for it to be on your main. Once decoded, you can either use Loot Goblin, which I've put the link in the description below for this amazing program. Shout out to Hainboo, who is also in the Sin Guild. Shout out to Sin for coming up with such an awesome program and getting it out to the public for free nonetheless. In all actuality, I should and could probably do a video over this program specifically, just because of how powerful it actually is. Or you can use the snippet tool to copy paste the map into exploreoutlands.com. I've done a video over this website before, and honestly, nothing has changed about it at all. This will show you exactly where the map is. Then you can use the Witcher T-map system or Black Dragon T-map system to figure out exactly where it is located. Recall to that spot, find where the X is, and use that shovel that you created to dig. As soon as you're not hindered, it's a good idea to go right next to the chest and drop a trap immediately. Have your pets on guard and next to you, and all the monsters should attack your Earth Elemental. If there's a caster spawned, have your Earthies focus it and the others will follow. Then place your trap accordingly. Casting your Grimoire spells in between, but being mindful of your mana and hit points. Once everything is dead, switch on over to Harvest aspect and pick the lock. Then enjoy. Hopefully Harvest did its job and you got twice the amount of loot. One thing of note, don't be a dickhead. Always demolish your chest. If you don't, the next person can't do their map there because your empty chest is in the way. All you gotta do is left click it and then demolish it. Plus, you might miss out on this super cool container. T-mapping has been a lot of fun. If you guys remember, years ago, we used to do T-maps for the viewers. It was a lot of fun. People would hand me their T-map, we'd go and run and do the T-map, and then I'd give them the loot on stream, which, by the way, check me out on stream most evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, and Facebook. That's right, 5 platforms at once. Shout out to the Patreons, the channel members, the subscribers, and you for liking this channel, as it helps for discoverability for myself, but more importantly, UO Outlands and my fellow streamers here as well. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you learned something from it, and I'll see you guys next time. Pwn Star Gaming out.